Why would someone prioritize a different country? Why do you think anyone would care? Prioritize our people first before giving money to other countries and tax breaks for. Okay, Israel. Look, this is so stupid. You know what? This is all predicted in the Bible that you guys would go down the wide road. Anyway, so I personally I like that America, unlike every other country in the world, actually supports a country that if we didn't stand by them, they maybe would last, if they isolated, they would last a couple months. Then they all would be annihilated. I'm sure you're fine with that. I'm sure you would totally be fine with it because I've seen this hate out of so many people, sadly. You know, you could see how the Holocaust took place, really. I mean, just the hate gets worse and worse, and these people, these demons like Candace Owens and others, Dave Smith, just all deliberately trying to get Americans to hate Israel, and yet most of the Middle East itself has lobbyists in Washington. They do. But unlike all those other Middle East countries, AIPAC actually helped us get 2 communist squad members out of the house. Yeah, Cory Booker, what is it? Cory, I forget, Bush, Cory Bush and Bowman. They spent billions, AIPAC, to get them out. I mean, talk about a thanks they deserve there. But my conscience can't live with that. I get not sending our money overseas for, condoms in Kenya and gender studies in India. I understand all that, but we don't give them actual money. We give it to them in military aid so they can defend themselves. And because the rest of the world hates them, I think it shows that we're a country that isn't like that. I mean, you want to be like that because you hate them. But to me, it's like, it shows that we're a country that has more class than the rest. We do. Yeah, this was video. This goes on all the time. Every time there's a war going on, Hamas steals all the aid and the food. Do you have video of it? The UN is not a reputable source. The UN, I can't stand the European Union. Like, the European Union should have any say with Israel, okay, given their history with the Holocaust, as far as I'm concerned. If people want to hate me for that, go ahead. But it's like, you know what? Don't try to act like you're making an amends to Israel. Don't try to act like you're their friend, European Union. You're full of shit. You got in with the International Criminal Court, the most damn corrupt court there is. It is, like, fucking International Criminal Court. That's where Jack Smith came out of. Damn. And most other countries, big countries, we don't sign on to that. But the European Union, of course, while everyone else is saying that no, Hamas is stealing the food, the EU reports of the EU says no reports of Hamas stealing aid. Of course they would. I mean, they were involved in the Holocaust. I wouldn't believe a damn fucking word they say. Sorry, that's how I feel about them. When has the European Union ever been on the good side of anything? But every other report, and these are different years, like 2023, 2025, but they actually have video from most recently. Hamas does this all the time, because the Hamas hates the Palestinians. They hate them. They want them killed. That's why they're fine using them as human shields. Yeah, Hamas members beat civilians, steal humanitarian aid received from one international organizations, Israeli Defense Force. But the IDF, nobody believes, because nobody will ever believe anything Israel says, because you've all been indoctrinated to hate Israel and think that is you show that you're willing to be brainwashed, or you just hate Jews. I won't call you anti-Semitic. You just hate Jews. You hate humans, as far as I'm concerned, because you'd be fine. Because it's the bottom line. It's the truth. If we stopped giving them aid, which the aid we give them is military equipment, because they need it. Okay? There's arms deals going on all over the Middle East. Okay? If we didn't give them military equipment, all of those people, which I know you'd be fine with, would be annihilated, likely within 48 hours. But they could last a little bit longer, maybe a couple months if they isolated. But that's it. They would get them. That's the reason Iran hates us, is because they know that as long as we provide them with equipment to protect themselves, then they can't annihilate them. Stupid. The European Union is strongly tied to and supports the International Criminal Court, although the EU as a supranational entity itself is not a party to the ICC. All 27 EU member states have ratified the Rome Statute, making them full members, making them full members of the ICC, and is influenced by powerful states. None of us like it. Russia doesn't. Major non-member powers like the United States, China, India, and Russia have accused the ICC of threatening state sovereignty and have refused to cooperate with or even outright reject the court's authority. Yeah. The EU... and so the EU it's a globalist nation, okay? That's what they are. I mean, they are all on board with the globalist bullshit. But here's my thing with the EU. They should have never, Germany especially, it should have just been like, yes, we have this history. Let's just move on. We don't need to hate each other. We don't need Germany to be involved in anything, or the EU be involved in anything with Israel. Just stay away, European Union. Every time the European Union gets involved, they'll take everybody into a worse situation. And it's Germany itself took us into 2 world wars. So you'd think, like, let's stop listening to anything the European Union says. So when they say, oh, Hamas isn't taking the food, they're a bunch of liars showing they're no different than they were during the Holocaust days. I know that seems radical for me to say, but that's the first thing that comes to my mind, is of course you'd say that, European Union. So, yeah, they go by, the EU includes encouraging wider ratification of the Rome Statute, promoting standards of international justice, and helping strengthen national legal systems to enable local prosecution of crimes. Yeah. So the UN, the International Criminal Court, a corrupt court totally, okay? And the UN and the EU, which is where you get all your news media, much of your news media, which is still only from Hamas, okay, are all organizations that have been out for Israel forever, okay? They are corrupt as hell. Nobody should even listen to them on the world stage as far as I'm concerned, given their fucking history, okay? But people do for whatever stupid reason. Oh, because we're European. Well, you know what? You show that your history sucks. You show that you're a bunch of countries that are about globalism, something the rest of the world wants nothing to do with. So why don't you take a lesson from everybody else and step back and shut the hell up and leave everybody else alone? And as far as Israel goes, they should stop having anything to do with the EU or wanting to make nice with these countries. Sometimes you just need to be like, hey, we hold no resentments, but let's not have relations. Let's just not, because given the history, it's just not a good idea. But who am I? I'm no expert. I'm just saying, if you want to believe all the bullshit that the UN spews and the EU spews and the international whatever it is, they all hate Israel. And if you want to believe our corrupt brainwashing losers like Tucker Carlson and the rest of them that want to get you to hate Israel, then go ahead and go down that road. I guarantee you it'll be a road that you regret, though.